Oh my goodness. So we just got hit with some stuff. We just got hit with a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You guys know that whenever I make these videos, it's just a discussion video. I can just speak on whatever I want to talk about in regards to the previous Dragon Ball Super episode. They're normally not even long, but in this video, we're definitely gonna have to speak on more than just one thing. Normally I just speak on one or two things in an episode. We're gonna have to speak about almost this entire episode, guys. So let's just start off with the fact that at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super's episode 115, by the way guys, if you have not watched it yet, do not continue this video. But with that being said, I just want to speak on something that I said was going to end up happening after Kefla was formed using the Potara earrings. The other Kais and God of Destructions were going to just end up using the Potara earrings for their fighters. I said that this was going to end up happening. Beerus just looked over at Champa and said, "You're cheating," and then Champa looked back at him and said, "Well, I mean, why don't you just do it? Like, if you can't beat it, join it." And then Beerus just replied saying that he just doesn't want to get disqualified, and I would have the same mindset as Beerus. I thought it wouldn't make sense that the Potara earrings would be allowed, but the thing that I did not want to happen ended up happening, and I knew it was going to end up happening. Zeno just said that fusion is cool, so fusion is now allowed. Like, I feel like it's just no point having rules in this tournament at this point, because Zeno's just gonna say, "Oh well, it looks cool, so let's just remove that." I told you guys in my last discussion video that I honestly have Zeno actually allowing the sensu beans. I promise you guys that it's not something that we can just say won't end up happening at this point with the way the tournament has gone so far. I can honestly end up seeing Zeno say, "Oh well, I would love to see Goku at full power fighting against Jiren. That would be really cool. Let's allow him to eat a sensu bean." Like, I really could see that happening, and it would piss me off, but I could see it happening. But let's move on. That's not me saying that it will end up happening, but if it were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But let's move on. After the Grand Prix and Zeno just finally let everyone know that the Potara earrings would be allowed, that's when the other universes started discussing whether they will allow their fighters to use the Potara earrings. There were some universes saying that they weren't going to use them. I feel like the main reason for a universe not using the Potara earrings ended up being because of the fact that if a fighter ends up getting knocked out while using the Potara earrings, the universe ends up losing 2 fighters. But as we saw, I always forget the number that this universe is, but the mech universe, you guys know what universe I'm talking about. It was funny, their Kai ended up just saying, "Well, I mean, we can't use the Potara earrings, and it's for obvious reasons. I mean, mechs can't put on earrings." So, but Universe 7 actually wanted to use the Potara earrings. After that rule was approved, Universe 7 wanted to use them, and I want Universe 7 to use the Potara earrings, and I honestly do feel like they'll end up using them, but I feel like it'll happen later down the line. As we saw in this episode, it just did not end up happening. The Supreme Kai ended up suggesting that Android 18 and 17 use the Potara earrings, and Beerus was all for it. But that's when Whis spoke up and said, "Well, I mean, if they get knocked out while fused, we end up losing 2 fighters." And then Beerus admitted he conceded, and he ended up saying that there's no point in putting on the Potara earrings if we're going to end up losing 2 fighters. I'm not going to risk it. Honestly though, I believe that they will end up giving the Potara earrings to fighters later down the line. Once they realize that they're down to their last 2 fighters, I mean, why not? It doesn't make sense to not give the last 2 fighters the Potara earrings after they realize that they're in a pinch where they need to put on the Potara earrings, or else it's a game over for them. So to answer the question that I'm pretty sure some people might have, yes, I do feel like we'll end up seeing fusion later down the line. Regardless of what universe it's going to be from, I feel like it's going to end up happening. Jiren can't fuse with Toppo though. What if Jiren fuses with Toppo? He's just going to be significantly weaker. The way they are making Jiren, he's just so godly, he can do whatever he wants. This man's over here staring through space and time. Toppo can't do that. But hey, it is what it is. If any of you guys aren't already aware of this, I'm not a fan of how they portray Jiren as OP. They don't explain anything about him. And I honestly could see with the way they're portraying him, fusing with Toppo could actually end up making him weaker. As you guys remember, they told Goku if he were to fuse with a Hercule, that Goku would end up with a very weak fusion due to the fact that Hercule was significantly weaker than him. That's not to say that the comparison between Jiren and Toppo is the same as Goku compared to Hercule. I'm just saying that Toppo is significantly weaker than Jiren. I'm pretty sure we all can agree on that at this point in time. I mean, hey, maybe there's something about Toppo we just don't know about yet. I feel like we haven't seen Toppo at his full strength as of yet, but even still, I just don't have him being anywhere near as powerful as Jiren is. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. We're going to get back on the topic of Toppo in a little bit, guys, but before we get to that, let's talk about Kefla versus Goku. Alright, so we had Kefla going up against Goku, doing what we already knew she was going to end up doing, mopping the floor with Super Saiyan God Goku. And the biggest question that everyone has been asking is, how is this possible? Like, this just should not be a thing. Goku at least should be on the same level as her as a Super Saiyan God. Well, the fight continued and Goku ended up getting pushed back so much that he actually had to go Super Saiyan Blue in order to counter Kefla's barrage of power. And of course, accordingly, Kefla powered up even more as well. She went Super Saiyan. And even still as a Super Saiyan, Kefla was not more powerful than Super Saiyan Blue Goku. That's the thing that a lot of people have been confused about. No, she is not more powerful than a Super Saiyan Blue Goku. As Champa stated, Goku is tired out. Goku cannot go all out in order to defeat Kefla. He just cannot. I've been thinking about this for the longest time, guys. I mean, I've been speaking on this a few times, but people still say, how is Super Saiyan Blue losing to this? I don't think people take stamina conservation into consideration at all. This is not the Goku that's going Super Saiyan Blue off rip after he just ate a senzu bean. This is Goku after he's fought for a long time, going into multiple different transformations, fighting against multiple different opponents, fighting in Super Saiyan Blue after he can barely even go into a Super Saiyan 2. Also, you gotta take into consideration that Goku wants to fight more opponents after beating Kefla or fighting Kefla, or rather he'll have to fight other opponents. I mean, they want to win this tournament, so he's gonna have to fight other opponents. You can't just take Goku out, that's just dead. There's just so many different reasons as to why Goku could not fight Kefla as a full powered Super Saiyan Blue, and the biggest reason is just simply because of the fact that Goku just did not have enough stamina to just do whatever he really wanted to do. Alright, so now that I got that off my chest, let's continue. Alright, so Kefla ends up going Super Saiyan, fights up against Super Saiyan Blue Goku. They seem evenly matched, and that's when Goku says, well, I really cannot do what I really have to do in Super Saiyan Blue right now, so let's turn it up a notch one more time. So he ends up using Kaioken, and this was something I was surprised to even see. I didn't expect him to be able to use Kaioken, and he went ahead and used it. And after I saw that, I said, oh, it's a GG. There's no way. Kefla is not about to beat a Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku. It's just not gonna happen. And of course, when she went up against that Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku, the Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku ended up having the advantage and pushed her back. But the thing is, Goku is putting a lot of strain on his body in this form. Beerus even stated that if Goku were to attack Kefla again, he's going to have to end it in the next shot. And this was something that upset me. The next shot ended up being a Kamehameha to knock out 2 Ki Blasts. The same 2 Ki Blasts that he previously knocked away just using his hands. He didn't have to form a whole Kamehameha to knock away 2 Ki Blasts. He just used his hands and just knocked them out of his face. He just said, get out of my face, I don't want to see you anymore. He did it so casually, so effortlessly. It didn't involve him putting his full power into anything. But for some reason, this fool just ended up using a Kamehameha this time. It just made sense to him that this was going to be the last attack that he'll be able to do, so it obviously made sense that he just used that final attack on Ki Blast that he really could just knock away without putting any effort into it. Yeah, that definitely makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't think about that. After he did that, I said, oh, GG, it's over. It's over with for Goku, it's over. Kefla just reappeared behind Goku, kicked him in the head, and he was down. I've seen multiple times where idiotic strategies ended up being the downfall of somebody, and this was one of them. As we saw earlier, my man's hit got knocked off when he could have clearly just told Kefla, Kale, and Kabe to just knock Jiren off. And I know some people are gonna say, well, Jiren could have withstood the blast. Why didn't he just tell them to knock off a piece of the floor that Jiren was standing on? It just didn't make sense. And it's just the same thing with this. Why didn't Goku either just move out of the way or knock the ki blast back with his hands? Why did he have to use a Kamehameha on the 2 ki blasts? And after he did that, he couldn't even see. And that enabled Kefla to be able to move around him and kick him in the head. Like, it just did not make sense to me, guys. Now, before we speak on the last part that we saw from Kefla versus Goku in this episode, I want to go back and speak on how Vegeta noticed that Kefla was powering up, and Toppo took advantage of that, ended up getting Vegeta in a grapple, and Vegeta reacted the way that I would think a good fighter would. He just elbowed Toppo in the ribs and got up out of there. That's what you should do if you were in the position that Vegeta was in. I wish other fighters would do things that they're supposed to do when they're in a certain position, if you know what I'm saying. But before we get back to Kefla and Goku, I want to ask you guys a question. Who do you guys think is going to win this battle between Vegeta and Toppo? And how powerful do you guys think that Vegeta and Toppo actually are? Back to Kefla versus Goku. So Goku ends up getting knocked down by Kefla. He turns back to his normal form. He's no longer Super Saiyan Blue. And that's when he starts getting up. He says, "It isn't over yet!" And when Goku started getting up and Kefla announced that she was going to be knocking Goku off regardless to whether it isn't over yet, I already knew what was about to happen. This man Goku ended up breaking his shell and going Ultra Instinct again. And yes, I just want to confirm that Ultra Instinct is indeed a transformation. I was wrong. I thought that Ultra Instinct was a state of body and mind, and that the appearance of Goku was literally just changed just because of the fact that he had the Spirit Bomb powering him while using Ultra Instinct. But as you guys saw just now, I mean, he doesn't have a Spirit Bomb powering him right now. The only thing he has powering him is that power that Frieza gave him, I guess, and his own power. Actually, I might have to take back what I said about Ultra Instinct being confirmed as a transformation, because the aura being emitted from Goku could just be the aura that's emitting just because Goku broke out of his shell. I feel like that's definitely a possibility regardless of the fact it's going on again. And we said that it was going to be impossible for Goku to be able to use UI again. And I mean, Goku's using UI again. Now I'm gonna tell you guys the hint that really gave away the fact that Goku was going to be able to use UI later to end the series, or at least during this tournament. It was when Krillin said, "That's Goku for you, always doing something that you don't expect." That was when Goku went Super Saiyan God in order to counter Kefla and Kale fighting him in episode 114. And as soon as I saw that happen, I just said, oh, well, I mean, shoot, I don't expect Goku to go UI again, but I mean, he's Goku. So he's always doing something we don't expect. So, I mean, shoot, we're going to be seeing that again soon. And on top of that, another hint that we're going to be getting UI again is that they stated Kefla was going to be defeating a Super Saiyan Blue in the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. And that Super Saiyan Blue was going to end up being Goku. She was fighting Goku. She wasn't fighting Vegeta. And of course, Goku's not going to get taken out. He's going to find a way. Goku has plot protecting him. It's going to be something that's going to make sure that Goku does not lose. So that one thing, of course, had to end up being UI. And sure enough, episode 115, we ended up getting UI Goku again. And now he sets his sights on Kefla. It's actually funny. We ended up even saying that he did not expect Goku to be able to use UI again or break out of his shell again in this tournament. And as I stated, this man Krillin clearly said that Goku just does things that people just don't expect. And sure enough, he once again has done that. How do you guys feel about Ultra Instinct returning to the show? I know it's cool and everything, and I'm happy that we are about to see some really cool looking stuff. But in terms of having a good plot, I feel like they could have went about this in such a better way. And of course, I know people are going to say, well, bro, you're watching Dragon Ball. Are you really going to expect a good plot? You have a very valid point. And that's something that I really don't like about Dragon Ball. It's just so many things that I'll see and I'll just be like, why is it like this? Like, they could have did this like that and it would have been so much better. But I mean, it is what it is. Y'all just let me know how y'all feel about it. I know some people might try to hate on me for even saying what I just said about Dragon Ball, but you have to admit there's so many different things that really just don't make sense in Dragon Ball. Like even going back to the Future Trunks arc, that's just the biggest thing to me. Why the heck this man Trunks get a Spirit Bomb sword? Why didn't they just have Vegeta defeat Zamasu? I feel like that would have made much more sense. It would have had a better ending and everything. But I mean, hey, of course at the end of the day Zamasu would have had to have been defeated by Zeno anyway. But I feel like that first form of Zamasu, that corrupted form of Zamasu, should have been defeated by Vegeta, not some holy sword that Trunks just prayed for and received. But that is all I have to say about episode 115 of Dragon Ball Super. I'm going to have to make another video for the preview of episode 116. I'm not going to be doing that in this video. I mean, we're almost 16 minutes in, and it's like, bruh, I told y'all I don't like making very long Dragon Ball Super videos at the beginning of this video. It's not normally like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did not enjoy this video, I don't know what to tell you. But if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, comment down below how you guys felt about this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, as well as turn on my notifications. Alright? I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm out, bruh.